All right, welcome. Today we're diving into something we can all relate to, how to actually, practically, get some control over your own mind. Let's jump right in.
You know that feeling, right? It's like your mind is running a marathon you definitely didn't sign up for. You're just trying to get through your day and boom, your brain opens like 100 different tabs at once. You get sucked into this whirlpool of thoughts, replaying conversations, worrying about stuff that hasn't even happened. It's exhausting. But you're not alone. And the great news is, you don't have to just be a passenger on this wild ride.
Okay, so before we jump into the how-to, let's talk about the why. What's the real cost when our thoughts just run amok? Turns out it's a pretty big deal, and it affects pretty much every corner of our lives.
And you can see how these things are all connected, right? Like when you're super stressed, it's way harder to focus. That can lead you to make some not so great decisions, and suddenly you're in this downward spiral. The good news? It's a cycle we can absolutely learn to break.
So, what's the fix? Well, it all boils down to one powerful idea: taking back the driver's seat of your own mind. And this isn't some kind of magic trick or a superpower you have to be born with. It's a skill that anyone can learn.
And this quote really drives the point home. It's not just in your head. As we change our thoughts, we literally change our bodies right down to the cellular level. Think about that. Your thoughts are creating chemical reactions that affect your entire physical being. Changing your mind isn't just about feeling better, it's about being healthier.
So, yeah, let's talk about mind control. Forget what you've seen in the movies with the villains and the mind rays. We're reclaiming this term. In our world, it's simply about developing the self-awareness to be the captain of your own ship, to guide your own thinking. It's about choosing thoughts that actually help you, not hurt you. Okay, so theory is one thing. But what about when you're right in the middle of it? You know, when your mind is spinning out of control and you need help, like right now. That's what this first part of our toolkit is all about. Your emergency in-the-moment rescue techniques.
And our first tool is a total classic for one simple reason. It flat out works. It's called a grounding technique because that's exactly what it does. It yanks you out of that mental storm and plants your feet firmly back in the present moment by using your 5 senses.
You can even do this with me right now. Go on, look around and name 5 things you can see. Okay, now 4 things you can physically feel. Maybe it's the chair you're sitting on or the phone in your hand. Now listen, what are 3 distinct things you can hear? Can you smell 2 different things? And finally, what's 1 thing you can taste? See, by focusing on your senses, you've just hit the pause button on that thought spiral. Now, if that feels like a bit much in a moment of panic, no worries. We've got something even simpler. All it requires is you and your breath. And here's the secret sauce. The goal isn't to control your breath, just to notice it. Simply pay attention to the feeling of the air coming in and the air going out. You can imagine breathing out all that stress and breathing in a sense of calm. Just observing. That's it. It's surprisingly powerful. All right, so those are your emergency flares, your in-the-moment rescues. But what about preventing the fire from starting in the first place? Now we're going to get into the long game, rewiring the default settings in your brain that lead to those spirals. Let's talk about a big one, a thought trap many of us fall into. It's called catastrophizing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Your mind grabs one little negative thing and spins it into an absolute life-ending disaster. It's basically turning a tiny molehill into Mount Everest in your head. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the catastrophe. I failed this test, my life is over. And on the other, you have a dose of reality. You start asking simple questions. Wait a minute, is it really true that one test ruins everything? By questioning the thought, you pop the dramatic bubble and bring things back down to earth.
Okay, here's another brilliant little mental filter you can use. This one is a game changer for deciding what's actually worth stressing about. It's called the 6 and 6 rule.
Next time you're spinning out about something, just stop, take a breath, and ask yourself this one simple, powerful question. And if the answer is no, if this won't matter in 6 months, then the rule is simple. Don't give it more than 6 minutes of your time. How cool is that? It's like giving yourself permission to let go of all the small stuff and save your energy for what actually counts. All right, for our last section, we're zooming out. We've covered the quick fixes and the rewiring techniques. Now, let's talk about building a truly resilient mind through long-term, daily habits. Now look, none of these are probably shocking to you, right? We all know that keeping a gratitude journal or getting some exercise is good for us, but the magic isn't in knowing. The magic is in the doing. It's about consistency.
These small habits are like daily deposits into your mental well-being bank account.
And hey, let's not forget one of the most powerful tools we have, each other. I mean, the data is pretty clear. A huge number of people, 60%, say that just being social helps them handle stress. We are literally wired for connection, and leaning on that is a massive boost to our mental health.
So, we've talked about your emergency toolkit, about rewiring those tricky thought patterns, and about building long-term strength. So where do we go from here? Let's bring it all home and talk about your very first step.
Honestly, if you forget everything else we talked about today, please remember this one thing. Your thoughts don't have to control you. They'll show up, sure, but they don't get to run the show. You have agency. You have the power to step back, observe them, challenge them, and ultimately choose where to put your focus.
You know, here's a really powerful way to put this into practice, something a therapist once shared. Go find a photo of yourself as a little kid and put it somewhere you'll see it every day, like your bathroom mirror. The next time that critical inner voice starts up, I want you to look at that picture. Would you ever say those harsh, critical things to that child? No way! It's an amazing little trick to practice being kinder to yourself.
And that's really what it's all about. This isn't about some massive, overnight transformation. It's about taking one small, conscious step in the right direction. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one thought, just one, that you are going to choose to challenge today?